Well, Harold, Diane, and I had a great time in Las Vegas this past 2 weeks. We realized how expensive it was when we ordered a hamburger. It was like $25, not counting fries. But it was a lot of fun. We learned a lot, and we can't wait to share all of that with you today. One of the things I want to first talk about here, and I think it's written out as a special topic, but I'm going to switch the order up a little bit, is what it takes to be an effective leader. And what we're going to do here, we're actually going to make this interactive, and we're going to have people call out what to them is effective leader. So does anybody want to start?
Modeling.
Service.
Helping people grow.
Helping people grow.
Listening.
Listening.
Appreciation.
Appreciation.
Modeling.
Modeling.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
The ability to influence.
The ability to influence.
With your vision.
With your vision. Influencing with your vision.
Set an example.
Setting an example.
Empowering your staff or
your staff, your team.
Having a vision.
What was that?
Having a vision.
Having a vision.
Appreciation.
And appreciation. The other one I want to talk about today,
leading a team to victory.
Leading a team to victory. The other one I want to talk about today is priorities. In Toastmasters, you're going to have stuff that you want to do, and you're going to have stuff that you have to do, right? It may not be always what you want to do. Here's an example. Let's say we have a club. They're not following the rules whatsoever, right? Yet at the same time, they're president's distinguished, even though they don't follow the rules. And then you have, on the other side of it, you have a club that's struggling. They're low members. They may or may not be using agendas or whatnot. From a priority standpoint, which club should you be helping out?
Oh. They're not regularly struggling club.
Help with the struggling club.
One that's not following the rules.
Help with the struggling club. The reason is the other one, even though they're not following the rules, they're still doing just fine. They're still getting presidents distinguished, and they still have a large team. So that's just something where to keep in mind is that we want to help all of our clubs grow. If the club is becoming presidents distinguished or you're distinguished, put those on the back burner a little bit and don't ignore them, but focus on what's important in helping all of our clubs to be distinguished and to help them grow. Here's another example. Let's say you're working on your speech contest and you're trying to work through a venue and what kind of pizza you're going to have. Which one's more important? Those are just some examples, though, of focus on what's important and focus on the critical things first. Because if you try to do it all, you're all going to be overwhelmed, and I don't want you to have burnout for the rest of this year. I want this to be fun for all of you, and I want you to be able to be effective for all of your clubs that are out there. Now, a couple of things that we handed out today. One of them, I think everybody got it, is the division director guidance. We had some division governors or division directors who wanted a little cheat sheet on some of the things that they're doing. And we decided to share this with everyone so that those of you interested in next year wanting to be a division director, can take a look at it, as well as the current division directors. And so you're going to see on here, for example, the first one is to get a mentor and guide, coach, and encourage you. I'm going to say that applies to every single person here. If you know of a past district or division or area governor, I should say, or division governor, have them help mentor you, or have somebody who has been a past division director or even a district director, because they are valuable. I myself have 3 people who are mentoring me as a district director this year. Number 2, for a division director is to recruit your team, which we pretty much have here. I think we're missing 2 area directors, and I have to look at my list because I don't remember which numbers right offhand yet that we still need for our district. Number 3 is to set a goal and plan to achieve them, and I believe Ben is going to go over the distinguished district program today. And then number 4, and this one's critical, having all of your dates, all of the dates of the training, the district events in your calendar. Moving on to the back of the page, we have number 5 is guiding, supporting, and motivating for the division directors, it's the area directors, but then for the area directors, it's guiding, supporting, and motivating your clubs. Now start with your president and VP of education. First part there for A is contacting the area governor, area directors at least monthly, and for area directors that would be passed down to talking to your clubs at least once a month. B is coordinating division activities like the division council meeting. Again, for areas, that would be area council meetings. Helping out with training and area and club leaders. Overseeing speech contests in their division or an area. Learning how to track your progress, and I believe Ben's going to go over that in the dashboard. And number 6 then is the division directors, as a heads up, is going to be giving, I have to look at the time, but I think it's 3 minutes for an update per division at our fall conference. And then the next one is preparing for your successor. So this applies to everyone. We still have long ways to go for this year, but as you go through this year, the division directors can help look for successors for their roles, and then area directors, as you visit clubs, if there's people who stand out, definitely talk to them and see if they're interested for 2016, 2017 year as an area director, and those names would go to Diane. Any questions in the sheet? The other sheet that we have here, and what are you going over this, Harold, or? Okay. The other sheet we have here is the Moments of Truth incentive. Diane can be here. She is in New Jersey right now, so we're going to go over it for her. We have a little incentive here, is that your clubs do a Moments of Truth before December 31st. And there's instructions here on how the clubs can submit it to Diane. There's going to be a drawing for a lectern banner. Actually, I think everybody's getting one. I don't think it's a drawing. Or if they already have a banner, which is shown at the bottom here, we will give them a $25 gift card to the Toastmasters International store. So they have the option of doing either one. So we want to encourage every club in our district before December 31st. To do the Moments of Truth. And that purpose of that is to figure out, see what's going well in the club and what are some suggestions or improvements for the club. With that, I am going to call up Kimberly, who is one of the most critical people here because she handles all of our money, right? And she's going to go over some district finance stuff for all of you.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. District Director. It's funny trying to get used to all the new names because in old school we were area governors, district governors, division governors. Take a little time, you're probably wondering why the treasurer is talking to you. And that's because, as Larry said, I have control of the money. Not really. Toastmasters International actually has control of the money. I'm one of the stewards of the finances for District 6, along with the trio. And our responsibility is to make sure we handle the finances properly and in accordance to what the federal law is. And one of those requirements in ensuring that is regarding taxes. We received some questions in regards to sales tax. For nonprofit, we should be tax exempt. One would think so. What we did was we did a little research and we asked the tax division for Toastmasters International. And here's what they said. In regards to sales tax and use tax, being tax exempt does not automatically apply to sales tax exemptions, as issued by each state and their own requirements. Unfortunately, Minnesota does not recognize Toastmasters International and our clubs as tax exempt at this time. There are many states where they do recognize them as tax exempt, and they do check every year to make sure we are tax exempt. While you're out there purchasing items for your divisions in your areas, please do pay the sales tax. You will be reimbursed for any and all expenses that to include taxes. Does anyone have any questions in regards to sales tax? Great. Each of you have received, if not, we can make sure that you received a copy of our guidelines for reimbursement. Has everybody received an email copy or a hard copy of those guidelines? In those guidelines, it talks about reimbursement and what's required for reimbursement. What's been handed out is an example of an expense report for you, and I'd like you to pull that out, please.
We didn't have enough time.
I'm sorry?
We ran out of them.
You ran out of them? If you could please share with your neighbor. I made 50 copies. I thought that would be enough. I apologize. I can get you a copy if you need one. In the guidelines and rules that were handed out at the last training, it talked about providing copies of maps, whether it was MapQuest, Google Maps, or directions. If you can please, going forward, if you can please print those off, scan them in, or just email them to me along with your expense report. That's part of the documentation. It is one of the requirements that we have to do for reporting our mileage for Toastmasters International. That's something we haven't been doing in the past. I know a few of you have asked why we're doing that, and that's because it is a requirement. It has always been a requirement. We've just not been doing it.
Is that why I do want Elizabeth Day yet?
Did you do it online? I might not have had it. Talk to me afterwards. Because all checks have been mailed with the exception of those I just received or those that had been emailed and Larry's been out of town. So see me afterwards. But no, that would not be why. Okay? And then it also explains about how to do the mileage because your first 25 miles comes off your round trip miles. There's an example about how to do it, how to figure it. It's 0.575 is what we are currently paying people for mileage, which is different from other divisions, districts. Some of the districts are doing 14 cents a mile, some are doing 20 cents a mile. But because we are going through the online system, that is how the system is set up. And therefore, that's how we are doing the mileage. And there will be a change in the mileage, most likely coming the first of the year. So please be prudent in paying attention to your emails that may come out from the leadership team regarding that. Because I do make changes. If I do, it'll be a penny change, acknowledging the change, and it would be to your benefit. And I'll make a note if it was a change and an increase, you need to capture it so you understand that there was a change in that. The other thing is copies of receipts. If you are purchasing an item and you return an item that is on that receipt, normally they circle it and say return, or they lane through say return. If you can please type a note or legibly print a note explaining what that is, because what's happening is our auditors are reviewing our receipts from the past, and they're not able to determine the story and the history behind why there's so many returns, what it was for, and how it even applies. Because there's so many receipts being turned in. That would be very helpful for our auditors. It will be helpful for Toastmasters International auditors. Because every year we turn those receipts over to Toastmasters International and they do an audit of our books every year. And they have to be able to read those receipts. I would encourage you to make a copy of those receipts and keep the original for your records. And the reason why is if something should happen, gets lost in the mail, system goes down, you have a copy of those receipts, and if Larry or I come back to you and say, yes, I have it right here, and provide that for us. If you send us the originals, you have nothing for your records. And you should be keeping a copy of whatever you send us for your records. Because things do happen, mistakes do happen as well. If you have any questions about how to submit documents, how you should be reporting something, please give me a call. I have business cards in the back. I'd love to talk to you. Larry and his team would love to talk to you as well. We're in the process of changing over a few things in terms of the system that is available to us right now. But our goal is to try to get it to you as quickly as possible. Does anyone have any questions about finances? Yes.
Reimbursement question, the fall conference coming up, is that mileage reimbursable?
No, it is not. And that's one of the things that was stated in the guidelines about mileage reimbursed for that. Yes.
Question about the IRS. I had one club at the officer training report that they've been filing DD form or IRS form 99N or something like that to say that, yes, we're still operating like a nonprofit, and no one else in the room knew what they were talking about. I know it's a requirement to act like a nonprofit. Is there any filing requirement with the IRS at the club level?
Yes. The club treasurer should be filing that one. Yes,
I believe the requirement has changed. I think TI files that form on behalf of all the clubs. So you may want to check that.
Yeah, we talked about it at treasurer training at the TLI. It is no longer a club requirement.
I'll check with Toastmasters International, this last conversation
That-
then it
that
was,
would
but we'll check on that for you.
That got changed 2 or 3 years ago, I think. Yes. The TI started to file tax. I think TI found they were having problems with clubs filing tax returns. So TI decided TI would do it for everybody, so that clubs don't have to file tax returns. And as I say, that happened about 2 or 3 years ago, I think.
I will double check because I was reminded to remind the clubs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I can't remember, did the guidelines have any information about reporting income from contests? You know, you have an entry, an attendance fee, and how that's handled?
It did not, but when you have an area division contest, the money that you collect normally goes towards the food that you have and the room charge if there's a room charge. And the idea is not to have excess income. Going forward, I know when I was both area and division, I was both times negative, not positive, because I didn't want to charge people too many, and the contestants were never charged. They were always free coming in. But there isn't, because you're not supposed to have access.
But you don't have to do any accounting to show you had no.
I will check into that. Okay. Have you had a contest with access?
Once.
We need to talk. Are there any other questions? I am here all day. If you do have any questions or you have something you'd like to submit, please let me know. I will be in the back. Or you feel free to send me an email or a Facebook message. I want to hear from you and be able to help you. And I wish each of you a very, very successful year. Enjoy it. It is a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but it's very, very rewarding, and you won't be disappointed in your roles that you're doing today. I'd like to turn it back over to our district director. Very
Thank you. I want everybody to raise your hand if you do not have a name badge. I ordered them. I have no idea what happened to them. And I feel really bad. So I want those people raising their hands, keep them up. I'm gonna have, actually, Sandy, come here for a second. Hand these out to everybody raising their hand. It's a little Toastmaster token. And I will get you badges, I promise.
Cool, I
Yes,
don't have a badge now.
And I have a sheet of paper here. For those of you who do not have your badge, and again, I have no idea what happened to the order, it was shipped. I want you to write down your name, your address, I can ship it directly to your house, and what role you are playing this year. So I'll start here, and I know there's a couple people who didn't get an area director package either, and we'll make sure those get to you. So again, I apologize, we'll make sure those get out, so that everybody has their badges as soon as possible. The other thing I wanted to mention, and this is not to toot my own horn, is when we were at Las Vegas, they went through and recognized all of the districts who were distinguished and above or any other type of an award. And this past year, I had the opportunity to walk up on stage with the president, Murad, from Dubai, and he presented me with the Excellence in Education and Training Award. And this is not, even though it has my name on it, it's not an award for me. This is an award for our District 6 because of all of the clubs that participated and were distinguished or above. That's how we got this award. So I'm going to pass this around because this one is really for everyone who deserves. And we're actually running a little early. Yes.
You ran out of crown in the TLI. Who do you contact or?
Let me see if they came in today. Otherwise, Diane Windingland has them and she is in New Jersey. But we will get, if you did not get a triple crown.
I got mine gently presented to me by our area governor at the club meeting, so they come in somewhere.
Yes, we will. We'll get you. We'll have Sandy take a list of it, whatever ones you need. If you did get a triple crown, if you didn't get a DTM, let Sandy know. We'll have a list, and we'll make sure that gets shipped to your house. Okay. We are running early, and so I think we're going to stay early. If then, does anybody want to take a break first, or do I just move forward?
Just go.
All right, sure. All right. So I'm going to welcome